There's something deep in the human spirit that mistakes familiarity for safety. Even when that familiarity hurts, even when it drains the life right out of you, we tell ourselves, at least I know what to expect. We confuse predictability with peace. And that's how a lot of good souls end up protecting the very environments that are starving them. Because the human mind loves patterns, even painful ones. It would rather suffer what it understands than risk healing in a space it can't control. That's how trauma disguises itself as loyalty. That's how broken love gets mistaken for destiny. Some of us learned early that love only showed up when we were quiet, compliant, and needed. So when we grow, we keep finding people who need saving, not realizing we're repeating the same wound just with a different face. We defend their chaos because it feels like home. We rationalize their neglect because deep down, neglect feels familiar. It's not that we don't know it's unhealthy, it's that we've learned to equate pain with presence. We've normalized suffering as proof that we're worthy of connection. So we keep saying, they're trying. It's not that bad. I've seen worse. But deep down, your spirit whispers, but you're dying here. Familiarity will whisper, stay. You've already invested too much. But your healing will whisper, go. You've already lost too much. And between those two voices, your soul trembles because it's been taught to prioritize everyone else's comfort over its own survival. Empaths, caregivers, healers, this is how it starts. You pick up pain like it's a calling card. You feel responsible for everyone's peace but your own. You explain abuse as misunderstanding. You call manipulation love with trauma. And you stay because you think walking away means you failed them. But you didn't fail them. You just outgrew the vibration of your own suffering. You realize that saving someone who's committed to staying broken will only drown you both. Spiritually, this is what happens when your soul outpaces your environment. God begins to show you the difference between love that expands you and love that imprisons you, between bonds that build your faith and bonds that break your focus, between peace that heals and silence that hides pain. Sometimes the most spiritual act you can do is detach. Not because you stopped caring, but because you finally started caring enough about yourself. It's not rebellion, it's resurrection. It's you reclaiming energy that was never meant to be spent proving your worth. Understand something. Not every connection deserves access to your evolution. Some were only meant to teach you the cost of ignoring your intuition. You felt it, that quiet unrest, that knot in your stomach, that whisper that said, this love is familiar, but it isn't safe. And you ignored it because you wanted to believe this time would be different. The mind said, maybe I can love them into changing. The spirit said, you're repeating the same cycle. The body said, I'm tired. But the heart said, but it's all I know. That's how the slow death begins. Not through sudden betrayal, but through tiny daily surrenders of self. Through every time you silence your truth to keep the peace. Through every time you absorb the dysfunction and drama and chaos to keep the connection. Through every time you abandon your own needs so no one else feels uncomfortable. That's the slow poison of the familiar. It kills not with cruelty, but with comfort. It convinces you that you're strong because you can endure it. But endurance without evolution is bondage, and God never called you to bondage. Psychologically, the reason it feels so hard to let go is because your brain forms pathways around predictability. It remembers the pattern and not the pain. That's why you miss people who hurt you, not because you miss them, because your nervous system misses the drama it knew. Healing isn't just emotional, it's neurological. It's retraining your body to feel safe in peace and not in chaos and drama. So if peace feels boring right now, that's not failure, that's detox. You're unlearning the idea that love must feel like survival. You're teaching your nervous system that safety isn't the absence of love, it's the proof of it. And when you begin to walk away from what's killing you, don't expect applause. People who benefited from your broken boundaries will call your healing selfish. They'll say you changed. They're right. You did. You stop mistaking servitude for compassion. You stop confusing attachment with loyalty. And you stop protecting what was never protecting you. That is what spiritual maturity looks like, choosing life over loyalty, freedom over familiarity, and peace over presence. Not every bond deserves to survive your awakening, and not every person who had access to your pain deserves access to your peace. You'll cry when you finally let go, and you'll grieve the comfort. But then one day you'll breathe differently. You'll wake up and your body will feel lighter. Your soul will stop whispering warnings. And that's when you'll know. You finally stop defending what was slowly killing you. God doesn't ask you to stay where you're dying. He asks you to trust Him enough to leave because resurrection doesn't happen in the tomb, it happens outside of it. And that's where your new life is waiting. So if you've been holding on to what's familiar, this is your confirmation. You are allowed to release it. You are allowed to outgrow it. You are allowed to start again because healing doesn't betray your past, it fulfills it. It's the proof that you learned. Thank you for visiting my channel. Stay covered, stay conscious, stay undefeated, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye bye.